Yeah, so just like Grant, man, I'm a revert as well. So yeah,
No
history
way!
was, yeah,
MashaAllah.
bro.
Back to back reverts. MashaAllah.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like you also had a role in my, reverting as well. I wouldn't say it was like,
Wow.
transformational,
SubhanAllah.
but it was a cherry on the cake, cherry on the cake.
Okay.
So it's basically like, I'm gonna give a little bit of background, okay? Because I'm sure there's many people. I'm sure this audience is young.
Mm.
I'm 23 right now. I was born in Pakistan. I came to Canada. I'm currently in Ontario, and I came here at the age of 13. So I wasn't really belonging to that country, nor did I belong to this country. Stuck in the middle. So coming here, the environment really influenced me because I was growing up, and let's just say I was thinking in a different language. Back home, I was thinking in Urdu. So, a whole different persona. Here, I was developing the thought in the English language, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Mhm.
And along the way, I was very much influenced by all the things. And even though I knew, like, Alhamdulillah, my family taught me everything, and I left the religion of Islam. The main thing that drove me away, it was like a two part thing, right? Where I remember learning in Islam school, in Islam's classes, that the biggest enemies of Islam were the hypocrites. And let me tell you, Madhi, I felt like a hypocrite every time I would come across, everyone and say salam alaikum, and I knew I was a Muslim by name, taking it for granted, but I didn't feel it in me, yo. So growing up, just this hypocrisy was like irking my soul, bro. And so this one time I was just like, Khalas, Allah, if you're out there, I need guidance. I'm gonna go out wild in and full on jahiliya. But along the way, Alhamdulillah, I think it's the prayers of everyone around me that kept getting the message to me. Came closer and closer and closer to the point where, um, let's just say, okay, is this true that having a woman in your life is like completing half your deen?
Uh, I can't. I think this hadith is authentic, but I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't
Okay,
know. My answer.
all right. So to put it shortly, this past Ramadan, um, my wife is, or we basically got a nikah. So my wife is from Iran, right? And she didn't grow up in a Shia Islam, none of that. She was westernized over here. But in the last Ramadan that just went in the past 10 days, just seeing her pray and try and figure this stuff out, somehow I just felt guilty. And man, I started to pray without no faith or nothing. And it was like I had to take the steps towards Allah for me to feel that. And just like how Grant said, and you were mentioning, the past 2 weeks, I was on this spiritual high, man. And all of a sudden, I was like, wait a second, I'm not feeling it no more. What's happening? Am I screwing up somewhere? Oh man, it was, yeah. This world is quite the lure. So yeah, I basically came back to Islam in a sense where now, like, if Grant, if you're listening, man, once you realize that you're doing it for the sake of Allah, like I love Allah more than I love myself. I've never had this kind of love in my heart, bro. And waking up at Fajr, sleep deprived, honestly, autopilot. Just wake up, do your wudu, ghusl, do your prayers, and then, take care of all the human stuff on this earth. But man, putting Allah in front of yourself and your desires, you're right. I didn't want to be slave to no human desires, consumerism, none of that. What's the point of all of this? Because, man, the greatest will in existence and beyond existence is the will of Allah. And to be a slave to that, bro, it's such a blessing to be able to do this, to do the 5 times salah. And coming back to you, Mahdi. So, not gonna lie, Tate had a
Your
little
your,
bit.
your sound's gone a bit funny.
Yeah, so Tate did have a role. Sheikh Tate had a bit of role to play where he was mentioning Islam is going to be the next religion. And I was like, yo, this guy's never lied, and he's speaking the truth. Maybe I'm missing out on something. And then I saw you, and yeah, your channel is not a Dawa channel, but to to have you embody the conversations that are repressed in our community,
Mm.
the conversations that need to be had to strengthen our ummah. You know, that's what you're doing. And that was like, okay, I'm on the right path. Like you were basically a confirmation in the sense that the thing that drove me away was the lack of this conversation, the lack of awareness, the lack of
Mm.
knowledge. And bro, you're doing such an important part in having this conversation. So I've noticed in my life that now when I'm going about, doing my day to day stuff, living my life, not being the top 1% financially, but I hope that you're able to see where I'm coming from and get the vibe, right? It has,
Mashallah, man.
yeah. So my wife notices how I interact with other guys and compares them, like subconsciously. I notice how her mind is working behind the scenes. I notice how other guys are starting to look up to me in the sense that, okay, he doesn't have his finances right, but something's going on. He must be doing something right. And I just want some guidelines in a sense where I don't wanna inspire that lifestyle that.
Mm.
So how do I keep myself in check but continue to uh, be the best version I possibly can? Because I would like to continue the whole tradition of all like big families, big house, live together, pool your resources, strengthen the iman, like brotherhood within my like amongst me and my own brother. But it it terrifies me. I saw one of the posts. I'm not gonna mention which one, but if I'm in a family situation where my brother's wife, na'uzubillah, starts to compare, let's say,
Mm.
which leads to the relationships degrading. I don't want to be that person. Instead, I want to be the like proactive in the sense where I want my brother to be strong with me.
So what's the what question do you really want to ask them?
How do I how, basically instead of giving dawah to other people, I want to help strengthen my own relationship with my brother. How do I start by making these positive impacts in my house
Mm.
where these relationships are taken far too for granted because other guys who don't know me, who meet me for the first time, they really value my words, but I don't quite value their relationship as much as I value my own brother's. But he
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't.
That's
You know what I
normal.
mean?
Familiarity breeds contempt. You see,
Yeah, yeah,
familiarity. My family are the same with me. Familiarity. When you know someone too well, you know their flaws. Like, bro, you poop like the rest of us.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I don't really know what to tell you, bro. Other than just do your best. Maybe I don't know if I'm even qualified to answer this. To be honest with you, do your best. Khalas.
No
Yani,
problem, man. No problem. And
you know.
I did want to contribute to the conversation, which basically clickbaited me in, and
Mm.
in that is that I believe in a relationship. It's like a ladder. You have the skills, performance, let's say, and you have the beliefs.
Mm.
I I'm at the point where I'm starting to understand you gotta have the skills, or you gotta have the belief first to develop the skills in order to go up that ladder in terms of intimacy, in terms of the satisfaction. So whoever is listening to this, brother, you have to believe this is possible because yeah, Allah has designed us men and women, and we both play a part. But I don't know who was speaking about 2 people ago, but it sounded like there was some sort of disbelief, and that person was sharing that nah, this is not possible.
Mm.
But listen, you have to observe reality for what it is, see where you stand in that spectrum, and believe that a healthy relationship that is halal is possible, but not without you going beyond your comfort zone.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.